All right, let's get right into it. Today we're tackling one of South Africa's most hotly debated policies, Black economic empowerment. Now, it was originally designed to fix the massive economic inequalities left by apartheid, but these days, well, it feels like it's on trial in the court of public opinion.
And the whole conversation really boils down to one huge question. After all this time, is it finally time to just scrap BP altogether?
This quote really nails the heart of the issue. There's this growing outcry, people saying, get rid of it. And the reason why? It's almost all because of this widespread feeling that the whole thing has just become fundamentally corrupt.
So let's start right there with the most visible part of this whole debate, the accusation of corruption. I mean, this is the main argument you always hear against B. But, as we're going to see, that might only be the tip of the iceberg.
And just to be super clear, when you hear political parties or critics calling for an end to BEE, this is their rallying cry. The policy, they say, has been hijacked. It's enabling graft, and it's only benefiting a select, politically connected few.
You know, this argument almost always zeroes in on two specific things: the way government contracts or tenders are handed out, and who gets jobs within the government itself. This is where that narrative of corruption really seems to hit the hardest.
But this all raises a really crucial question, doesn't it? Is focusing only on the government telling us the whole story? Or is it possible the scale of the issue is being a little bit misrepresented? Okay, let's look at the actual numbers. In South Africa, you've got roughly 1.3 million government employees. So when the debate gets heated about corruption in state jobs, this is the group everyone's talking about. Now, here's where your perspective might just shift a little. That 1.3 million is part of a total working population of nearly 17 million people. So the part of the workforce that's directly tied to all these corruption allegations, it's actually less than 10% of the total. The public conversation often gets stuck in this very narrow view, right? It's all about government jobs and contracts. But the policy's actual design is so much broader. We're talking education, skills development in private companies, management control, things that impact the huge majority of the workforce in the private sector. Which brings us to the rest of that iceberg. If the policy's impact is so much bigger than just the government, then who are all these unseen beneficiaries? Well, the policy's rules actually go way beyond just government tenders. It mandates that private companies invest in things like education, provide internships and training, make sure there's Black representation in management, and fund skills development for their employees. So you see, business ownership is just one piece of a much, much larger puzzle.
And I have to stress, this isn't just a friendly suggestion. It's written directly into the policy. There's a key part called the Socioeconomic Development Clause. It formally requires companies to invest in these kinds of initiatives. It's a non-negotiable part of doing business.
Let's make this feel a bit more real. Just picture this pathway. An underprivileged student could get a bursary to earn their degree. Once they start working, that very same policy makes sure their company invests in their skills. And then, over time, it helps create an environment where they have a fair shot at moving up into a management role. It's a whole journey.
And this leads to a really fascinating idea. Because these benefits are just embedded in normal corporate life, like a company bursary or an internal training program, many of the people who benefit from them don't even realize their opportunity is a direct result of the BEAI policy.
So, all of this brings us back to where we started, but with a completely new perspective. The question really shifts from just, is the policy corrupt, to something more like, what is its full and often unseen impact?
The author of our source leaves us with this pretty provocative final thought. They suggest that public opinion is often shaped by a well-educated but maybe narrowly informed group, a group that dictates policy debates based on the parts of the issue that are most visible and, frankly, most comfortable for them to talk about. And this is the perfect place to end, really. This whole analysis forces us to ask a much bigger question, not just about BE, but about any complex policy. How much of it do we really need to see, beyond the headlines and all the controversy, to truly understand its full lived reality?